Hello guys, Vengeance are here. Bringing you another little short BDO video. So today I'm going to talk about the wizard. And I know there's been a massive amount of these videos already done, but I want to give my version of what a wizard is in BDO to me. So there's two different sides to a wizard. You got two major subclasses, I guess you could say. Succession and Awakening. Succession, they use a staff. They're kind of more long range. They have a lot of more mobility than the Awakening, I would say. But it feels like their skills are more animation locked. So you've got certain skills that like Blizzard, that literally animation lock you. They get access to the heals without having to swap stances. Now Awakening, they use the Sphera, the Goddard Sphera. They don't get split teleport, and they seems like they have a little bit less mobility because of that split teleport not being there. But some of their skills, I forget the name of it. Where is it at? I think it's Hellfire. Like you port to, yeah, you dash forward, so you get a little bit of mobility there. But it's supposed to be a mid-range caster, and then you get two summons. You get a fire summon and a water summon, and they have flows that add more damage to the skills, which have been reworked recently. In-game, Awakening seems to be more consistent and powerful overall, but I will talk about that here in a second. So I'm going to break these down in 6 different categories: weapons, damage, mobility, defense, PvP, and PvE. So I already kind of went over the weapons. You got staff versus Sphera, long range versus mid range caster, and they both use the offhand, of course. But there that is. The damage, I'm going to break it down like this. For Succession, the staff user, you're a war of attrition, basically. I'm going to use that phrase quite a bit throughout the next few minutes here, but for Succession, you're basically dumping your skill rotation and kiting away. You want to telly in, dump your skills, telly out, and stay as long range as possible, and then it's kind of like poke down over time. The Awakened Wizard seems more consistent damage because the skill rotation doesn't have any gaps in it. So you've got fewer skills, but they're very low cooldown. 7 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds. So you've always got skills up. However, with the Succession, you've got Fireball is 3 seconds. That one's very low cooldown. But Explosion's 11 seconds. Freeze, Frigid Fog's 10 seconds. Blizzard is like 20 seconds. The Earthquake is 15 seconds. Earth's response is low because it's one of those skills that you are spamming all the time. Equilibrium Break and Bolide are 6 seconds, so you have to work those in. And then Lightning is 5 seconds and 9 seconds. But the combo on this, it combos between all 3. So it's just, the damage is not consistent on Succession, so you're just kind of kiting for cooldowns. Dump and kite, that's what I call it. And then Awaken is mid-range, just continuous damage. That's why in PvE later on, the Awaken is a little better. Everyone usually now, I think, goes Succession for PvP just because of split teleport, and you have, you don't have a grab, but you do have quite a bit of super armor and CC and stuff. Alright, this is going to lead me into mobility. We already went over weapons and damage. Now, the mobility, I touched on this a little bit already. Succession has split teleport, which means that you can literally teleport, drop a skill, teleport again. With Awakened, you have to back-to-back teleport. If you don't, you can't cast the second teleport, and that's why it doesn't feel as mobile, because you do get double teleport, but it has to be back-to-back. That being said, the Succession also gets Prime Earth's response, which is a little bit different. You can have one that is available during cooldown, so you can spam it, and then there is also Prime Earthquake, and if you do Earthquake Evade like I have, it teleports you backwards. So you get an extra movement skill there, and the split teleport makes it feel very mobile. The Awakened has a couple of mobility. It has the double teleport, but it's not split, so you can't use skills in between. You have to spam it. They do get the magic evasion and the Earth's response, but they don't get the evade Earthquake that I just showed, the Shift F, which teleports you backwards. And then the other thing they do is get, I can't do it because I'm not Awakened, but they get Forward F, which ports them forward and slams the enemy with some damage. So, in terms of that, I think Succession wins on mobility. Now, defense. Wizards are squishy. They have a low HP pool, and their DP they just can't climb as high as other classes, say like a Berserker or something. So I play my Wizard as Glass Cannon, go for AP, evasion second. You know, if I can dodge one hit, great. But if I get hit, I'm gonna get one shot, and that's even if I'm full DP anyway, and that's most classes. So the thing to take away is they have protected area, which secondary skills here, protected area, reduces 50%. They also have magic shield, which makes all resistances plus 15% for 30 seconds, and then you consume MP, which is kind of crappy for that. But, you know, it is what it is. And then protected area, shift Q, for 8 seconds you get plus 50% on damage reduction rate. So, plus you have a lot of super armors and stuff built into a lot of your skills when you're casting it, Fort Guard and super armors. And that goes for both Wizard tech trees, Awaken and Succession. So they both have access to that stuff. Oh, I haven't played Awaken Wizard in a long time, so I don't know if you can still back up and block on it. I know that used to be a thing, but like you said, it's been a long time since I've played it, so I do not know if that is still a thing. So you have to look that up. But I generally think that kiting and doing your best not to get hit is what the way to go. Try and stay longer mid-range, and teleport in, dump your melee range skills, and then flee, teleport out. And then if you do get focused, try and use your protected area and stuff to keep that from killing you until you can get a teleport to get away. PvP. Solo PvP, yeah, well, you might as well forget it. There are some that can do it, but Wizards do not shine in solo PvP. Awakened Wizard still has a grab, so that helps. But Succession, I think, is better in PvP just because of how the class works with the split teleport and with how Wizards are designed around kiting. It makes it a little bit easier for you to kite whenever you can teleport, dump some damage, teleport, dodge a few times, dump some more damage, and then teleport again. And, you know, it makes it a whole lot easier than having to double teleport and then try and Fort Guard or something while you wait for teleports to come up. So I definitely think that Succession has an edge overall. Now, PvP is very different from the PvE. So PvE, Awakened in the high end PvE, Awakened has more consistent damage overall. Because of just how the skills are. Succession is more pump and dump. You know, you just pump out all your damage, and then dump your teleports and get out. And it's just a burst class by nature, but Awakened is more consistent. You never are out of skills in your rotation because you can just cycle them. They have such low cooldowns. But I have noticed in Succession that the consistent damage on harder monsters is just hard to keep up because of how you run out of skills. So like if I'm spamming my, and then they're on cooldown, so I have to wait. And the lightning is my biggest skill. It will recycle, but you can see how it slows down. So you just have to cycle so much to keep damage up, and it's just not consistent like it is with the big hitting skills of Awakening. That's the other thing about Succession. It makes it a little easier to play because you can literally cast one skill and hold down right mouse button, and it will just cycle through all skills of that element. And then you can click another one and hold down right mouse button. But you're animation locked. You're just stuck there until you let off of your button. So, it just feels a little clunkier than Awakening as far as the skills go, but the split teleport does give it the mobility. So, there is that. My recommendations are to do kind of like I've done. And I don't usually switch back and forth, but you can do it. Once you have your presets set up, you can go talk to the skill instructor and every 10 minutes switch classes. So you can have an Awakening build and a Succession build. And then once you have those, you can just go to talk to the skill instructor and switch between them and use Succession for PvP, use Awakening for PvE, high-end, low-end spots for PvE, where Succession is one-shotting the monsters and can teleport between. They're fine. You don't really need Awakening. I may eventually switch over to Awakening for PvE, but as you can see, I have 4 more AP as Succession currently because of my gear, so I will not be switching back and forth until I get all of these things to pen and everything's kind of equalized in terms of the gear. So right now, just go for whichever one has the most AP. But that's what a wizard is to me. In short, to kind of follow up, Succession is long-range caster, kiting class, and Awakened is a little bit more mid-range bruiser class. But the lines are blurred with how the Succession tree is split in half. You have a definite split because a lot of these skills are now melee range, so it makes it a little bit more exciting close range bruiser play, but you have to be very, very good at kiting because you teleport in, dump your skills, and teleport out. Otherwise, you're going to get grabbed and destroyed because you're squishy. But Fireball Explosion is one of them, and then let's see, I think Lightning is the same. Yeah, Lightning Storm Strike. These are both melee range. And then, same with the Blizzard. It's also melee range. So you got Shift C, melee range, Shift left mouse button, melee range, and then Shift double button for Blizzard. It's kind of melee range around you. So they've changed the Wizard a little bit, which I took those because I do like the melee range. I just need some practice with dumping and kiting. I just don't PvP enough to get that practice. In PvE, it doesn't really matter as much, obviously, because you're not fighting monsters that stun you nearly as much as players do. And you can kind of tank a little bit better in PvE. So there is what a wizard is to me. I hope it helped you guys out a little bit for anybody looking for the differences between the two wizard classes. Sorry I don't have any way of showing off the Awakened skills. I could probably switch over and show a few off, but it's not really going to serve much of a purpose for what I was talking about. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, as always. Until next time.